Greetings. Yaninga Adania here. I am the owner of Oyun Botanical Gardens in East Point, Georgia. And I am coming on to talk a little bit about the workshop that I am hosting. I'm calling it a workshop, but it's really like a discussion that I'm willing for it to go wherever it goes. But I'm hosting an online discussion on October the 20th. To discuss my experience purchasing this property, this urban farm that has been in the community for over 20 years, purchasing it with USDA funding. And so it was a journey, and I know that if I share the journey, it's a high potential that it could be beneficial to other people. And I know this because I have been kind of lightly, without a whole lot of detail, sharing it with some people. And they're like, wow, just hearing my story, they learned so much about the journey, and it maybe took away some misconceptions and also gave them information they didn't know. So I'm definitely going to be sharing that on October the 20th. That is a Sunday. And you can register for it at the link in the bio. But the reason why I wanted to share this is because more and more people are wanting to experience urban farming and like permaculture or, urban gardening. And they don't know how many resources are available through USDA. Not just for land ownership, which I took advantage of their opportunity for funds to purchase land, but also for those who have land already. Maybe you're not needing money to purchase land, but you need funds for other things like equipment, coolers, grow houses, low tunnels, fencing, all type of things. Like, I learned so much in the process just by going to a lot of the meetings, meeting other farmers. It's just like, wow, there is so much resources. But what was very profound, and I won't share too much here, but what was very profound was one of the meetings that I went to. There were all of these, like, it was a room full of farmers. All of them were like veteran farmers, some beginner farmers. And it was, all colors, race, and young, older, all of these people were people who have land, who are growing, who are farmers in some way, whether they're animal farmer, vegetable farming, or it was also different categories of farming too, that I was like, wow, but these people are used to touching like millions of dollars. Like, that's what I realized in just attending that meeting that I was at. These people are touching millions of dollars to operate their farms, and like I said, these were all type of people. Like, I hear stories like that when it comes to being able to get funds to purchase your land and successfully farm. I hear stories where it's like, people don't have access, and they don't know how to get their hands on the money, or they can't get their hands on the funding. And there may be some truth in that. I didn't have an experience like that, thank God. My experience was quite smooth. They were very helpful. I think the time that I was dealing with them was like optimal, because there are some things that's happening, I'll say politically, when it comes to funding and farmers, and specifically Black farmers and underserved farmers. Like, I came in on a sweet spot, I would think. I don't know, I suspect it seems anyway. But with that said, a lot of people have heard a lot of stories where it's very difficult to get funding, and it's just a hard time. It's just a rough experience. And so I just want to share my experience, because it was a smooth experience. Of course, A lot of it has to do with just the divinity of it, what was divinely meant to be kind of thing. So I want to talk about that too in the talk that I'm going to have. It's not just going to be solely about, well, it's going to be predominantly about my experience getting the funding, but that includes, something greater than this world at play, if you will. Of course, I got to throw that in there because that wouldn't be me if I don't. Because in the process, I do think it's extremely important to make sure you keep your vibrations in a certain way, your mind in a certain way, your words in a certain way, so that the process can go through in a fruitful way for you. It is important for you to step away from what other people are saying, and be careful with who you sharing your process with. All of that is important in the process of doing it. So anywho, I just wanted to hop on and just remind you that I am doing that workshop October the 20th. I wanted to just talk about why I'm doing it. I'm really just doing it because I just want to share my experience. And I know there's so many who are wanting to purchase land. And I just want you to know, first of all, that it's more than just the conventional way to get money to purchase it. Their USDA funding is an option if you're talking about growing food. And I want to talk also about how you can be creative when it comes to how you use your land. It's just that it's a requirement for you to be growing, but you can be creative. Once I learned, my property has the property as well as a building on it. And I'm also able to put other buildings on it and do other things with the land. And so I want people to know also that just because you purchase farmland, don't just stay stuck in, I have to run a farm. Yes, you do have to grow food. You do have to produce. However, you can put a building on there. You can put a home on there. You can put homes on there if you're buying more than, if you're buying a significant amount where you can fit various structures on there. I'm going to share on the 20th some of the things that I'm doing with my son, 19 years old, his group, how I've encouraged them to purchase land and allow, for those funds to be a help to them, and how they're going into growing and producing, but also able to do some of the things that they're wanting to do at the same time with land, with the ability to purchase land. I also want to talk about how my plan on how I'm going to pay it off within 5 years. I want to do it within 2 years, but I'm going to give myself 5 years, but I want to do it within 2 years. Which 1 year is May of next year will be 1 year, but I want to do it within 2 years. I'm going to just keep speaking that, but I'll take 5. But my plan on paying it off, I'm going to talk about that and how I plan on doing that. And the beautiful part about, working with them is they have certain perks that you don't get by getting a mortgage through other ways. They have quite a few perks that's like, what? It's going to blow your mind when I share it with you. So if you are interested in purchasing land, even if you're not interested in farming, but you want to purchase land, I'm going to talk about how you could still be able to utilize these funds in order to get land. And in this way that I'm going to talk about, I think we should be doing it. I've seen this in almost every country I've visited outside the United States. I've seen how people have land. Well, I don't want to give it all away, but I'm going to talk about how even if you don't want to be a grower yourself, you could still utilize USDA funding to purchase land. We're going to talk about that too. So if you know anyone who you think may be interested in this, definitely share. Go ahead and sign up now. I'm going to be doing this talk on the 20th, and then leading up to the new year, I'm going to have more of a course or workshop, if you will. I'm going to pull in a farmer so that can help with some of the questions about farm planning. I'm going to also strive to get a FSA agent to come on in that class as well, But even if I can't, because the one I really want, he got a promotion, and so he's kind of hard to get in contact with. But I'm gonna try to get him. I'm gonna see. We're gonna speak that he'll be able to come to that more like a master class. But it's gonna be a really good one coming up closer to the new year, where it's not just gonna be me talking about my experience, but more people to really help you to really be able to take advantage of the USDA funding. I'm gonna close by saying USDA is not just it's not just one pot of money. Let's just put it like that. It's USDA, and then USDA is like the umbrella, and then under there's agencies that has like pots of money or resources that you can pull from. So as I said, this talk or this online discussion is not just for those who want to purchase land. It's also for people who already have land. It's not just for farmers. It's for people who are beginner farmers or veteran farmers, and those who are not even interested in farming but want land. But you must be interested in, at the very least, collaborating with growers, because either way, one of the prerequisites, of course, is for you to be a producer. You don't have to be the physical one, but you must be producing something on the land. So it's not that this talk is not trying to get, let me make it clear, this is not a talk on how to get over on anything. No, we want to, all of this that I'm talking is a righteous, this is all righteous. For me, I think it's just right for us to partner with each other, the farmers partner with the investors who partner with it, so that we can all support each other. And so I'm absolutely not talking about no tricks to the trades or the secrets or nothing like that. That's not this vibe here. I'm just telling you my experience. I've walked through it. I've successfully been able to get funding. I've been successful at partnering with farmers to maintain this garden that's been in this community for over 20 years. And I've been successful at acquiring other resources and funds through the USDA, other agencies that's under USDA. And I just want to share my experience. So hope to see you, if this is of interest to you, on October the 20th. Again, you can register at the link in bio. And if you know anyone else who would benefit from this information, please do share. All right. Peace and love, y'all.